Hello everybody, this is Tyson. We're back in the test server. And what we're gonna see is I think the new rebalance changes for the test server release, and we're gonna see them. So, I'm gonna just review them. I think I already saw them, but I'm just gonna show you it. So the Rex. The Rex is gonna get heavily nerfed next update when the Vulcan robot comes out. So, what's gonna happen is that the Rex built-in weapon, it's like when you press the ability, it's gonna shoot out like a built-in weapon version of the Elox and Murex, and the damage, and we can see the built-in weapon particle per shot. It no longer does like 50,000 damage, and it got heavily nerfed to like 17,000 damage and 500. And it shoots like less like bullets, and plus the damage is heavily reduced, like almost by like 40%. And then his status robot, apparently it got like it's better than the last one, but it's not too much. It's really similar to the rebalance it first got, but it's just the total duration of like its stasis went from 7.5 to 5 seconds, and then it dropped heavily down to 3 seconds when they changed the charge rate back to 3. And then now they're increasing the duration of like how long you're invincible for each charge. So now you got a total 4.5 seconds. The Hawk. This one really made me really mad. And what I'm saying is that why the heck are they reducing the damage per particle on the laser? Does PigSonic even listen to their own players when they do these feedback forms? It's just, I don't get it. Like, they heavily nerfed it. I was expecting them to like buff it or like revert the entire thing, but they just nerfed it again. And it would make sense like if the damage actually did full damage to robots instead, it would have been a reasonable, rebalance. But no, the damage to robots is still the same. And that video I did, I think it was like the maximum damage you could do like with the built-in weapon was like 4,699 damage, I think. And then yeah, it was like 4,699 damage like per particle if you have like all the max weapons. And then like you're gonna divide that by 2, and because it does half damage to robots, so it got heavily nerfed from 1,800, which does less than the maximum damage it could do with all the weapons like maxed together in the strongest tier for it. So, and this just puts, it's just, you don't even know like what they're even doing, like what the developers are doing with their game, really. And it's really disappointing to see that they would nerf an old robot to the ground. Oh yeah, also it does. The old Hawk with the weapons used to do 2,349 damage and a half. 2,349.5 damage. And that's per particle when the entire damage is max. Yes, this is a heavy nerf for the Hawk. It's no longer a buff. This is like really sad to see because I literally invested in the Hawk. You can see it in my live server gameplay. You can see in my first video and all these other grind videos that I did. And it's just a shame to see it nerfed to the ground. Alright. The sword. This is really good because now they listened finally and all the changes are cancelled. But Ultimate version of Sword, all the changes are canceled too, but it's still getting a nerf because the Absorber is getting nerfed more. And do you know what really made me mad about when you see the Sword rebalance and the Hawk rebalance? I don't think when you put the feedback in that form right here, uh, this link, the survey link where it says feedback, I don't even think they even listen to it. I mean, they do listen to it, but it's just a last resort, to listen to it. And I'm pretty sure they know people say this because the first week when Sword got rebalanced and when it loses its absorber when it flies up and dashes all the way down using a sword attack, I'm guaranteed most of the people said to cancel that change. And guess what? PigSonic knew. They saw that, but they just didn't listen. So they wanted to test something out and instead, let's just buff it like double its damage, but still it didn't work and people were still mad and they just said the entire thing. So PigSonic, what they did was just they went with the last resort like option, which was to revert the entire thing, which means they're like delaying. They're like delaying the feedback and listening to other people, and this makes zero sense because honestly, if the Hawks gonna get something like this rebalance change, then it shouldn't be even like in a game. Like they should just revert this entire thing. And honestly, at this point, I think I should just put feedback in the game. It's like this is like really getting out of hand. I think it's getting out of hand to the point where even though I'm not on my main account for now, I'm just gonna go in their feedback form and just you know everyone should go on the feedback form. Everyone is spam instead to revert the Hawk nerf, cancel everything of this rebalance, and it's just yeah. Everyone go on the feedback and everyone just cancel this entire thing. It's the best thing. It's the only good that could happen. So Princeps, what happened? It got a 10-second buff. I mean, yeah, it went from 12 seconds to 9 seconds, and then now got increased to 10 seconds. Alright, Elox Merix, buff and nerf. What happened was the damage particle went from 1,400 to all the way back to 1,500, which was what it was right now. It did now. But the dot damage, like, that they buffed all the way up to, it went from 500 to 300. And I'm pretty sure that's just only the Elox dot damage, because I remember the Murix did like 550 dot damage. Yeah, so they're getting buff and nerf. And then Veneer Venusier, those things, they're getting a nerf. So they're reverting their damage back to original. Yeah, and that's it. And I'm pretty sure these Lumen weapons and the Vulcan content, they're just there just to replace the status. I mean, they look really similar. It's just Vulcan has more abilities and more phases than his status. And plus, you can tell, like, these are, I mean, they do have, like, different things, but it's just, we've seen it. Lamar Drone is literally, like, a toned down version of Kestrel and Pascal. Yes. And the Vulcan's just his status replacement. Yeah. And it's just scummy things that PigSonic's or MY.GAMES really doing in it. I just don't like it. And I think that's it. But before you leave, make sure when you go into feedback, everyone must say to revert this entire Hawk change. Like, just revert the entire thing because this is literally getting out of hand. Like, this nerf makes zero sense if it does like half damage to robot and it's just barely scratching the paint off of like every single enemy in the game and barely doing any damage with the laser. It's just, what's the point of using it if it's gonna get nerfed? And other than that, yeah, that's it. And I'll see you next time in the next video. Bye bye.